Hey guys, this is Cruz Roy with his Raptor 30, the V1. A while back I had a little hard landing, so I haven't been using a canopy, and what happened is I had a hard landing and the canopy nuts broke right off. No other frame damage, just on these. Right next to your gyro. It just kind of took the canopy right off. And what I tried was every day go to the hardware store, 2-part epoxy, quick cure and slow cure, and I'll tell you what, it peeled off the Raptor frame like it was a vinyl plastic or something. It didn't even bind. It stayed, but then I flew again. The first landing was fine, and second flight I noticed that the canopy was flopping in the wind, and all I needed was the canopy to come flying up into the rotor blades and cause a big problem. And I looked over, and one of them had broken off. And if you can imagine, this whole thing was globbed with epoxy, and I literally just picked at it with a toothpick and got it all back, clean again the way it was. I mean, I even picked at these, and all the epoxy came out of it. So the Raptor plastic is a pretty weird plastic, I guess. So it doesn't work with epoxy. What I'm doing first is I'm taking a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol. I'm kind of cleaning the spot where I'm going to work on with this new Rapid Fix. I'm not advertising this stuff at all. I just seen it, and someone mentioned what it is you have a super glue and you have a powder for a weld on it. It's a 2-part type super glue. So I wanted to try it, so I wanted to videotape it also while I'm using it. So clean your parts with alcohol. I mean, it's not going to hurt. While I'm waiting for stuff to dry, I don't want anything getting on the gyro, so I'm going to put some blue tape on the gyro here and just keep that protected from any of this glue getting on it. And it looks like it goes in the right area. It comes with a CD. I mean, the stuff isn't cheap, but if it does what it's supposed to do, it'll work fine. I mean, they glue a water pump together in their video on YouTube, and when you buy it, I mean, I've seen it anywhere from $39 to $50. Comes 2-part, pretty good sized bottles. It's got a DVD in here, which is just a video you can see on YouTube, and your safety data sheet and some instructions. Take that, put it aside. Put my tape aside and epoxy. Alright, let me move the screen in closer. Alright, now here's the culprit right here. Believe it or not, this frame's in perfect shape, and it just broke off both sides from a hard landing. It knocked the canopy nuts off. Oh, just to say, just want to back up a minute here. I mean, I actually did find. I got a good find, guys. This frame is like brand new, and it's a V1. I got both left and right side. I just wanted to try this stuff before I changed it, but I do have them. It was a good find. Those things are hard to find. Okay, let's bring her in closer. Now, from the instructions, you're supposed to use the blue first. I'm going to open them both up. You can stick it on the part. They say you can leave the bottles open. They don't. It doesn't dry up even if opened. It has to have 2 parts pushed together. But here's my piece. I got to line it up, make sure that's the right one. Alright, that's the piece that broke off here. So what they tell you to do is first use the liquid, the blue bottle, and put it on the spot for the repair. I'm going to put it a little bit on here, and you know what? It really, really, really smells like super glue. Alright, then it tells you to put it on, and you push it to squeeze the air out. You have to get all the air out and hold it for a little bit. It depends. This plastic's porous, so it says it can take up to, you know, anywhere from 15 to 45 seconds. Anything porous, and that's the thing with this Raptor plastic. It seems porous. Alright, so my finger's sticking to it, so it seems like it's holding. But now our next thing is, it tells you to put a bead where you want it, and then sprinkle the red. Back up. The red is a powder. So they tell you to put the blue on and then sprinkle the powder on the glue, and it's going to harden together. Now it's going to act like a weld. And the excess supposedly just blows away. And they tell you to go a little bit across because it'll make like a weld. And then you put more on. Just don't want to touch the wires. Alright, so I did the top there. Looks kind of scaly. I just want to grab a toothpick here and wipe off the excess here. My Q-tip. Alright, now I think you're better. I'm showing you as a top view, but I think you're better laying the bird down. So let me cover my bottles real quick. Back up the camera. Let me get the roll of tape. Use it as a base here. Hold it up. Hold the Raptor up. Alright. I notice the alcohol makes it turn white. Hopefully that doesn't hurt it any, but let me find my spot here on the camera again. And you notice where I wiped it with alcohol, it's turning white. Move it up just a little bit. Alright, so that's, they tell you to follow the crack like you're doing a little welding. So that's what I'll do now. So I'll do it with the blue. Then using the powder. I'm just sprinkling the powder in a pile. I'm going to make a whole new batch of, they say this stuff's re-drillable too, so. I just see it going down here. I just don't want it to hit. I guess it'd be a good idea to watch it from any bearings or pieces parts. You got to watch that. Just like epoxy, it'll just get into something and alright, so it's built up this little barrier right around the canopy nut. Now I also wanted to do it on the other side, so it's actually welding both sides. So let me try to tip the bird up, move the film back a minute. Let's flip the Raptor over. I mean, if this stuff does the job, it's well worth the money. If it's just like epoxy, but I wanted to try it because it gets expensive when you crash. Let me try to place this just right. Okay, I guess it would have been better with the gyro out of the way for you to see it, but I'll point my finger. Here's the inside now. I mean, this is the inside part that was broken. So what I want to do is put a little bit of this blue stuff, which it's clear, but the blue bottle, and I'll sprinkle some of the powder. It's pretty cool. It's blowing out. You kind of blow it around. It's supposed to only react where the powder is. I'm only going by their instructions, but alright, I have some in there. I'm just going to coat it. Just watch how you coat it. It's like drippy droppy. It's really drippy. It's more watery than CA glue, but see if you can see in there. Alright, you can see the other one where it's broken, and the other one's in here, and I just sprinkled some powder and put a coat of glue on there. Now you can keep doing it, but I think that's fine what I did. And like I said, I think the gyro out of the way would probably work better. Let's see if I can tip it in a way. Alright, see, that's where I coated it, where the frame was cracked. And it still looks like there's another little line right there, a crack. So let me put just a little bit more. Like I said, don't drip it too much. It's like water, so it's like one little drop. And probably I should have took my main blades off so they were out of the way, but I'm probably like, that's a little bit too much powder probably, but I won't have to worry about it falling apart. But it's supposed to be strong and drillable and everything if you watch their YouTube commercial. Just keep a paper towel by and stuff, but look how I put the white powder right over the crack. You like plastic welding. And if you don't like the color, I've seen someone use a black Sharpie and clean it up. So back up a minute. Okay guys, I flipped the bird around. This is the weld I did. If you notice, it feels no different than it was originally when it wasn't broken. I mean, even the Raptor has a little flex, but it seems good. I mean, I'll have to fly it a couple of times, see if it breaks off like the epoxy did. I was doing this for the video, but you can, you know, I got OCD when it comes to having a neat frame, so I'll just try to clean this off so I don't see the white. But you can use a black Sharpie on this. It'll paint it up black. It doesn't really look that bad. And if it helps you fly your Raptor V1, because you can't find a frame or any parts, it supposedly works. I've seen a video on YouTube where a guy almost cut his helicopter in half, glued it together with this stuff and flew it. So, I mean, that's just a commercial, but Rapid Fix, the blue bottle, is the adhesive. It says it right on there. You can use the adhesive by itself, but the bonding powder makes it like a plastic weld. So that's me fixing my canopy nut on my V1. Hey guys, I just wanted to put an ending to this. I forgot to tell you that supposedly this stuff is sandable and paintable, drillable, tappable. It's pretty amazing stuff. I found it on the internet. I picked some up off of eBay. But like I said, it's called Rapid Fix. It's got a liquid and a powder. It works. The liquid can work by itself, or you use both to make like a layer of plastic over plastic, or to add plastic to something that's broken. Anyways, off camera, I do recommend that you take as much a part out of the way as you can, because I was fighting with this, you know, trying not to get it on the gyro, or trying not to get it on your main gears. But this one here, it came out a lot better. I used a lot more tape everywhere and paper towels just to catch any residual, because it's such a weird surface to drip glue on. It just wants to run off. So off camera I did this one. This was the one I did on camera. It kind of looks a little messier. You can actually, when you put the powder down, it doesn't have to be, now it's a glob, so I'd have to sand that to make it flat. But if you take something like one of your tools, you know, one of your driver tools, and what I did on this one is I kind of spread it evenly. See, now there's a bump here, but I spread it evenly, and then I put the glue on top of it. So it made a nice flat surface. And like I said, you can sand this a little bit with the Dremel or whatever, and use a black Sharpie, and it'll blend right in with this Raptor. Haven't tried it yet, but they say it works. And like I said, if you watch, this is the force I'm putting on these. There's no way I could do that with epoxy. Even with epoxy, it was feeling like, you know, oh, better watch it, you're going to break them. But I'm actually twisted on this bird. Let me back up. You know, so it might even be a little bit stronger than factory. Doesn't look perfect, but it'll work. But like I said, if this was out of the way and everything, you could sand this down and just paint it black, and it just disappears. Alright? So I just wanted to show you guys that. It's Rapid Fix, and hope someone enjoys using it. I think it works well. I'm going to give it 10 stars for this heli, especially because it cost me more than $30 to buy frames. Alright, Cruise Roy, I'm out of here.